On Gangsta Kong. We're going to go back today and we're going to revisit security and safety procedures because in other projects that I am a part of, I am seeing a prevalence of people getting their wallets hacked, NFTs stolen, and it's really distressing because of some of the things that have been said to me personally. Because while in spaces, I've been attacked for not making sure that I'm not promoting ones that have been stolen, i.e., NFTs. And we really need to go back over safety and the protocol. And we're going to be looking at a few wallets that have been stolen and the NFTs that are stolen out of them. And I really, really want to delve into some of the things that people do that actually open themselves up to these problems. So just like the first class that I ever held in the Gangsta Kong Discord was all about security. And that was a very basic security class. I'm going to go over some other security stuff today. I'm going to show you guys a couple of wallets. And whenever I say you guys, I mean all the people out there in the YouTube land that actually come and watch. The two people that are in my classroom right now, I know that they keep control of their stuff. They have security protocols that they follow. So we're going to talk with them about the different security protocols that they follow. Or maybe I follow some different ones that they don't. But this is something that I want people to not have their wallets hacked. And a few of the people that I've seen in the last few days in one of the other groups that I am in, and I'll tell you, it is the Lazy Apes NFT project, multiple people are getting their wallets hacked and having everything taken out of them. Not just the Lazy Apes, but everything else. And the only people that are winning on this entire situation are the people that initially steal them and manage to sell them before anybody else can figure out that they're actually stolen. And then members of the community stand up and do amazing things to help get these NFTs back. But in the long run, the only people that are really, really winning are the people that steal these. So today is all about protecting your wallet and how to keep it from getting ransacked. That's the best word that I can think of, is a wallet being ransacked. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. And let's look, because I'm going to switch over, hopefully, which I'll be able to see right out of the corner of my eye. I'm going to go over to the Lazy Ape Discord. I'm going to go down to where it actually has the links. And I believe it's called Report Scams. Yep, here it is. So this is Report Scams in the Lazy Apes Discord. And this is the one I'm going to specifically talk about. Mrs. Tomato. This morning at roughly, well, let's see, she posted this up at 4:52. It was 26 minutes later, so roughly 4:30 this morning, my time, she had her wallet hacked. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 NFTs got ripped off by just this picture. Now, the ones that are important is this one, and, well, you know what? All 4 of these Lazy Apes. They got transferred. It doesn't say whether or not they got sold. I'm willing to bet it was for 0 money. So, this one has an Ekta hat. This one has a platinum jacket. This one is in the executive club. This one has an Ekta hat. Now, I can tell you right now, oh, you know what? This is an OG portal. An OG portal has to do with Ekta. And to have the OG portal, there were 2 of the OG portals that got ripped. And in order, these are worth a few $100s each. The OG portals are worth a decent amount of money. But in literally a matter of seconds, she lost everything. And this one came up for sale and sold almost immediately. This NFT sold about an hour later, but it did sell And we were even telling people after the fact that this one was a stolen NFT and it's still sold. So basically, she's out, I would say, at least over $1,000 just in these 6 NFTs alone. I have no idea what a Phoenix is, so couldn't tell you if that one's very important or not. But this is what I want to go to right here. If you can see me circling that, I opened a GigaTrade app. Okay, whenever I first read this, the first thing where my mind went to was, what in the hell is GigaTrade app? I've never heard of it. Right there, red flag immediately. And knowing what I know about all of the different sites, be it gem.xyz, OpenSea, LooksRare, X2Y2, I'm quite sure there are other ones out there to where you can buy and sell, but I've never heard of them. If I haven't heard of it, and I've been trading NFTs for over a year now, I've been dealing in cryptocurrency for over 2.5 years, going on, well, you know what? I might actually be at 3 years now. I've never heard of GigaTrade app. If you have NFTs, or you even have cryptocurrency, and somebody tells you about an app, or you decide you want to follow a link to a different app other than one of the major apps, and whenever I say major, if it hasn't been around for more than a month, it's not major. It probably has security concerns. Well, it says right here, I opened GigaTrade app because someone wanted to trade with me, but before I fully connected my wallet, it had already lost my NFTs. Well, I would imagine that somebody sent her a DM through Discord or through Twitter and told him, hey, I want to buy some of yours, or maybe she was going over there to buy one from somebody else. Number one, if you're selling or trading on these other places, are the actual developers of the project getting their due worth? Are they getting their creator royalties? Are they getting any royalties if they have them set up? Because if you're going to one of these other apps to save a few bucks, well, let's just say out of the blue that she said, yeah, I want to save $10. Well, she didn't save $10. She just lost $1,000. That's not saving in my book. And then it puts it onto the community that there are 4 NFTs in that community that are now out in the wind that are stolen. She hasn't gone to OpenSea, which, understandable, OpenSea has a whole new policy now, and we're going to go over that as well during this to where people can understand what is going on whenever something like this happens. But I want to get the word out there to people about how these things are happening and what you can do to stop yourself from ever having a possibility of this happening. And it's a red flag. The first thing is, if it raises a red flag in your own brain, stop for 2 seconds. It's not worth taking a chance and going, well, I don't have a good feeling about this, but I have a chance to make some money. Don't do it. Just don't. It's not worth it. If you are living on a budget, it's definitely not worth it, because you're thinking about buying into these. I would say 99.999% of the people out there that are buying NFTs are buying them trying to make some money off of them. Don't let yourself get scammed. Do not go to sites that you don't recognize or that you've never used before in the past. If you do use a brand new site, make a brand new wallet. Transfer over $10. Start easy with it so that it doesn't just wipe everything out at one time. That's really the whole beef of everything that I have, because I don't want to have to look at somebody and go, yeah, you've lost all of your stuff, but man, what did you do that caused it to happen? And they go, well, I didn't do anything. Well, obviously you did something, because if you didn't do anything, you would still have said items. So what did you do? And then try to walk them through it. And this person has just lost a whole bunch of stuff. And it's really hard to go in and to try to help somebody to figure out exactly what happened, to find out to where it never happens to me or to anybody else that might come to me looking for answers and looking for a way to protect themselves. Because the first thing that I want to do is I want to protect everybody that's out there. Granted, am I going to help everybody? No. There's always people that get hurt, that lose everything, just like this person lost all of these items. Let's just go ahead and look at a couple of the other ones. Like this person. This is the person that was actually giving me shit because I all of a sudden jumped on the fact because I was in a space hosting and I seen this one hit the floor, and I jumped all over it, and I was like, wow, a platinum just hit the floor. Well, this person attacks me. Well, didn't you know that was stolen? No, actually I didn't, because I don't have time to go back and look every 20 minutes to see if there's a brand new wallet that's been stolen. All you had to do was go and look at the Etherscan. Again, I'm co-hosting a space trying to get people to buy NFTs. When do I have time to stop, go back, and check to make sure the NFT that I'm talking about isn't stolen? It's insane. It's not my responsibility to check every single NFT that I'm trying to get somebody else to purchase, because I'm in a space that is built for that community. And I would say the same thing, because I know that Gangsta Kong is here. Are you there, Javon? Okay, Leaks, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Leaks, let me ask you this question, and knowing that you are one of the executive people in the Gangsta Kongs, if you asked me to host a space, is it my responsibility as a host to go and check and make sure that every single NFT that I am trying to sell is not stolen?
Of course not.
I mean, how much time...
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. How much time should I spend making sure that none of the NFTs are actually stolen that I'm going to be talking about over, like, say, a 2-hour space? How much time do you think that I take personally just to look?
Probably none. You're probably just looking at the project and make sure the project's not a rug. I mean, it can be stolen in any project. So.
Okay. I will tell you that any time that I go to host any of our spaces, be it in Gangsta Kong, be it in any of the other ones that we have friends in, Leprechauns or stuff like that, I take a quick glance at OpenSea, and I take a quick glance at Gem XYZ, and I look at the project. And I will grab one or two off the floor, throw them into my cart, just to see if there's that little red exclamation mark. And if there's a little red exclamation mark, then I know that they've been marked. I take about 5 minutes prior to doing any major space. That's the research I do. Do you think that's not enough, or do you think it's enough?
No, that's definitely enough. It's not your responsibility. We agree upon that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not your responsibility. You're there to talk about it. The common thing that's always said in these spaces is do your own research.
Yes. Let me ask both of you, is there anybody else in here, because I'm not over in the Gangsta Kong right now, I'm over in the Lazy Ape section of Discord. If there's anybody else, just let me know. Whenever you go to buy or sell, how many different websites do you guys use? I would really like like to know? Just give me a number.
Me personally, I only use like 2 separate sites, to be honest with you.
And I'm willing to bet that one of
That's,
them is Jim XYZ and the other one is OpenSea.
and you
Well,
would be winning your money.
it really depends. You need to really jump into different like platforms to get the whole like aspect or the data that you're looking for, because you probably looking for something rare, looking for something that it's like a good rank. So you need to kind of have like a 2 or 3 like platforms, shit like that.
Okay, and even if you're jumping onto different platforms, how many of those platforms do you actually trust to hook up a hot wallet to? Maybe 2, 3
Well, I
maximum?
will say, yeah, max, yeah.
Yeah. And it's ones where they have a proven track record. OpenSea, Jim. I can't think of another one where I would buy and sell off of. If I'm not mistaken, I have went to LooksRare and to XY. Is it no? Yeah, X2Y2, and I even had a class on both of those, and I didn't like either one of them. In fact, with X2Y2, the first one that I went to for X2Y2, and I popped it up, it wasn't the right X2Y2 site. It was a whole different one. It was x2y2.it. And it turns out that it was a fake website. And I was having problems hooking up my test wallet to it that had nothing in it, just to see if I could hook up. And so I went snooping around because I had never been to X2Y2. And I punched it into Google. I looked it up and I found out that X2Y2.io is the proper website, not x2y2.it. And whenever I hooked up my test wallet to X2Y2.io, all of a sudden everything worked properly. So even during a class, I found a fake website. Now, what would have happened if I would have hooked up my main wallet there? Well, I might have lost things out of my main wallet instantly. But I used a test that had absolutely nothing in it. It was completely and utterly empty. It was a totally empty wallet. So those are one of the security measures that I use because I don't want to have a certain thing happen. And it's just so much dealing with security. Are you going to weird websites? Are you trying to save a little bit? Are you trying to do something on the edge? Another one is one that I got today where somebody was talking to me. This guy, Caddy Boy. He sends me an invite, wants to be my friend. So I say, okay. The first thing that clicked into my mind, people, was this guy's a scammer. I don't know him. I don't recognize him. So before I even start talking to him, the first thing I ask is, well, the first thing that I asked myself was, this is a scammer, and this literally happened, as you can see, 40 minutes ago. And I thought, wow, this is a perfect time for me to talk to somebody. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is a scammer. I can't say yes or no because I don't know them well enough. But the first thing that popped into my mind is, if this guy is a scammer and I'm sitting here formulating what I want to talk about during this class, because I came up with the fact that I want to do another security class talking about going to weird websites and what causes these websites to all of a sudden rip you off, which we will get into here in just a little bit. This is a perfect thing for me to show exactly what the direct message was. He starts out that he was wondering if I have any OG Portal NFTs listed for sale. Well, yeah, no, I kind of lead him on a little bit. We're talking back and forth, and as you can see exactly what I said. But right here, I'm buying over the counter. I'm sorry. What does over the counter mean? I've never heard that term. Over the counter to me means you're doing everything above board. Well, if you're doing everything above board, you'd have no problem dealing with OpenSea. But he says OpenSea hasn't been stable here in Mauritius. I think that's how you pronounce that. I've always gotten that one wrong. You know what? That line right there. OpenSea hasn't been stable. I'm buying over the counter. I am sorry. As far as I'm concerned, he's a scammer. He's wanting me to go to a site other than OpenSea to buy and sell NFTs that he thinks I might have. Because if he knew me well enough, all he would have to do was to go to OpenSea, punch in my name, and he's going to see that I have tons of NFTs. And he's going to see what they are. So he's going to know whether or not, if I have OG portals. I was wondering if your OG portal NFTs are listed for sale. Well, all he would have to do is go to OpenSea to see if I have any, or better yet, go to the actual OG portal site, ECTA, where they're being sold at, and see whether or not my name is on any of them. So, there were so many things during just this little conversation that I had for 3 minutes with this guy that screamed this guy is a thief in my book. Now, is he a thief? Can't prove it. Don't have hard evidence. But by the conversation that I had with him, knowing what I know about security, knowing what I know about what to do and what not to do, what sites to go to, what sites not to go to, how to find out whether or not it's a fake site, all of the things that make it look like a fake site. This conversation all by itself, I instantly clued in that, wow, this is a perfect teaching tool, and it happened at a perfect time, just before I was getting ready to hold a class on security. Now, I know that Javon is here. I know that Leaks is here. What do you guys think about this conversation that I have on the screen?
I think a lot of people thinks is they're hacked, but I think it's more like they need to take the extra step to make sure that everything is proper. That is not hack. Hack is when they go and they hack you without your consent, and you don't click anything and nothing. So it's pretty much responsibility for the other people. The main, the person who's actually doing everything. So.
Okay, so reading this whole conversation, what thought do you have about exactly what Caddy Boy is? Do you think that he's above board, or do you think there's something a little shady there going on?
Too many red flags.
Do what?
Yeah, it's a red flag. There's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's 2 out of 3 of us. Javon, are you there as well?
I'm here, but I can't see any screen. I'm just listening. I can't see a screen, though.
Oh, are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Do you want me just to read this entire conversation to you?
Usually, even on my phone, it gives me the option to stream, but I don't even see the option to stream anything. I don't know why.
I don't see it.
Weird. Well, basically, here's the whole conversation. Caddy Boy, hey buddy, I was wondering if your OG portal NFTs listed for sell, because I'm interested in buying, or do you want to sell any NFTs from your collection? I answered, nope. Caddy Boy, alt. Lord Galaban says, and the NFTs I am willing to sell are expensive. I don't take dirt offers. Caddy Boy, I'm aware. That's why I'm contacting you via a DM, because I'm buying over the counter. I responded, any I am willing to sell are listed on OpenSea. Caddy Boy responds, I'm buying over the counter. I'm sorry. OpenSea hasn't been stable here in Mauritius. And then I responded, have a nice day.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's been in Web3 knows that all action should be like really cautious, and everybody should be understanding of that. So if somebody is trying to get you to do something outside of a secure somewhat secure way to do it, that's just the ultimate red flag, like, just to go on about your day.
Just an immediate red flag. And as you can see, Leaks is watching. I am going to remove friend and block, because I really don't need to talk to this guy anymore. But with that being said, let's go ahead and pop back down here to, okay, there we are, right there. Pop back over here. OG Crypto Daniel is in the building. Right on, and so is 80K. Guys, you just listened to that conversation, I hope. Go ahead and chime in with what your thoughts are on that conversation, because this is interactive class today. We are talking about security and the fact that there are a lot of people targeting Lazy Ape Yacht Club and the members that are in Lazy Ape Yacht Club. And I would say so far since Lazy Ape started minting, there's been at least a dozen wallets that have been stolen. And there was one stolen again today, where there was a whole bunch stolen out of it. What kind of security measures do you use, 80K? Because I know that you deal in a lot of NFTs. Is 80K listening, or did he just pop in the room and then go do something else? Crypto Daniel, are you there?
I think 80's at work. And then Crypto Daniel probably. So yeah, he's usually at work at this time, and then Crypto Daniel never picks up the mic.
Okay. That's understandable. I'll give you both a pass. 80, you're probably at work, like Javon said. But I know that 80 speaks because I've been in plenty of his spaces. 80 is the BDB of the poker world. So with those,
you notice that he usually is speaking like later in the day, but during the morning, in most of the spaces, he don't speak in the morning.
So he just popped in to pump up the numbers. Right on. Thank you very much. So a couple of the things is looking at different websites. Like I spoke in a class that I was gonna have the Looks Rare and the X2Y2 class today here that I held last week in another Discord space, but this one has to take precedence because I definitely wanted to get the word out there, and I wanted to call into specifics that wallet that was broken into and the red flags that show up. Whenever you are in the NFT spaces, for anybody that might actually watch this and listen, you have got to follow certain protocols. Only hook your wallet up to sites that you at least halfway trust. I mean, if there's an inkling in your mind that it might be wrong, don't do it. Just don't do it. I have passed up on multiple NFT projects that are free mint, where the people that are running the project have came to me and asked me, hey, would you like a whitelist? Would you like to get in on it? And then they tell me where they're actually up at, where they're going to put their stuff up for sale at. And I just go, nah, I'm not going to do it because something tells me not to. And one of the biggest things as a human being that you can follow is your own gut instinct. And if your gut instinct says not to do it, don't do it. Walk away. Even if everybody else in that project makes 10 grand each, if there was something telling you not to do it, then it was probably the right decision at the time. That is the biggest security measure that I use, is what does my brain tell me? What does my gut tell me? And if there's anything that looks wrong, why? Why does it make me think that way? You should ask yourself, why do I have that feeling? Even though it sounds like a good thing, even though it looks like good artwork, even though the people that are behind it are saying that they're good, it doesn't always mean that they're good. I have quite a few people. Oh, you know what? OG Crypto Daniel actually typed in the YouTube chat. He said, I would immediately assume that it's a scammer until proven otherwise. Laughing out loud. Thank you, Crypto Daniel. I just seen that out of the corner of my eye. So yeah, even though Daniel won't talk, he will talk, and I'll just say the words for him. That works just fine. But getting back to the way that these scammers do things, the one that I showed there was just a simple Discord one. And 3 out of the 5 people that were in here, which now NFT Girl is in here. Welcome to the class today, NFT Girl. You missed out on quite a lot of my ranting so far. This has been a rant session, by the way, as well as a class about theft. And it just shows you that there are so many people, you know what? It's a bad way to put it, but there's a lot of naive people in our space. And there are people that have been in the space for upwards of 6 months, upwards of a year, that are still naive. And I don't know if I chalk that up to simply people deciding that they want to believe that human nature is good to a certain extent. But when money gets involved in any type of project, be it cryptocurrency, be it NFTs, the greed factor will take over for so many people. And if you mix the greed factor with a little bit of knowledge, you can do some damage. And it's really trying to bring light to how these scams happen. That's why a lot of people that run good projects, the first thing they will tell you is, I don't respond to DMs. I don't respond to DMs on Twitter. I don't respond to DMs on Telegram. I don't respond to DMs in Discord. You have to get to know people before you're willing to talk to them most of the time. Me personally, I can tell you that my wife constantly tells me that I tell too many people in the world about how well my situation is in life. Well, I can tell you, yeah, that I do have that problem. And I know that it's a problem, but I also came from dirt, garbage eating poor. So I actually kind of like showing what I have every now and again. I feel good about doing those things. Does it make me a target? Hell yeah. But I'm the type of target that will fight back. And if you try to take something from me, I'm going to take more from you. And anybody that's heard me talk knows that back in the 80s, I started out doing nefarious things, to say the least. Anybody that knows me well knows that War Games is one of my favorite movies, which is about a hacker that breaks into government projects. Well, back then it was easy. I can tell you right now that I couldn't do half the stuff that I used to do just because of security and the way that it's changed over the years. And, well, not even years, decades of security and decades of knowledge, decades of things that I've done, decades of experience. That's where I can come out and I can tell people, this is what I see. This is the information that I'm trying to share. Now, do I expect everybody to go out there and follow exactly the type of things I do? Hell no. Everybody's a human being. But it's sharing amongst ourselves how things happen. What was the process that led to a wallet getting hacked? Because I know in the first 2 days of the Lazy Ape Yacht Club Mint, 3 that I know for a fact, 3 different wallets got ripped. And a couple of them were from people that actually, what I considered to be knowledgeable on the space. But what makes the difference in between somebody's wallet like D-Dish, Loudmouth, Lavelli that's in that project, any of the other bigger names? Let's take a name that we know personally as Crypto Junkie, Ben. Ben has a ton of NFTs. We know that he's a huge Gangsta Kong holder. He's a huge Lazy Ape Yacht Club holder. Why isn't his wallet getting broken into? What are the steps that he is using? Because he's obviously using steps to where nobody is breaking into his wallet. Is he not going to these other sites? Is he not clicking on links that kind of seem freaky? I would love to sit down and talk with him about it. I would love to have him pop in here, but I know that he's busy because he is so deeply entrenched now in the Lazy Ape community, because he's one of the co-runners of the Grills faction. So he has a ton on his plate, plus his in real life work. But what stops somebody from like breaking into his wallet? What are the security measures that he is using? Do you think that he's using the same type of security measures that we use? Only using OpenSea, only using gem.xyz, because these are proven commodities. Does anybody else use any other aggregator other than gem.xyz? Anybody in here? Or is that the only aggregator that any of us use, where you can go and you can pick different NFTs from different projects, put them all into one cart and buy them all at the same time, instead of using OpenSea where you have to buy them one at a time, or either you're buying a bundle? Does anybody use any other aggregators other than gem.xyz? Going once, going twice. I'll take that as a no. Nobody else is using any other aggregator. Why is that? Why are the 6 people that are sitting right here only using gem.xyz? Have NFT girl, are you there? Are you actually able to talk? Nobody else wants to talk. Okay. I was going to ask her, has she ever heard of that Giga app, whatever, a Giga NFT app? Is that what it was, I think? Man. The ploys that a con artist will use will always be evolving. Right now, the easiest ploy that they have to break into anybody's wallet is to use backdoor phishing techniques once you click on a link. And any given link can have a worm on it. And the worm will simply jump directly into your computer faster than you can even think about it happening, and it will hunt down information that is on your computer. Are there saved passwords? Are there saved key phrases? Are there entire seed phrases saved somewhere on your computer? Because they're usually kept in the same exact spot on, I would say, easily over 95% of all of the computers. So these people that are looking to go out and to steal the NFTs use the same thing. Hi, I'm your friend. We're in the same project. Would you like to talk? Hey, I have information on a really good deal that you can get. I know one of the ones that pop up on Discord a lot are, congratulations, you've won Bitcoin. You've won a half of a Bitcoin. Go to this link to claim your Bitcoin. Raise your hand or clap or just giggle or do something. Take your mic off. And how many people in here out of us 6 have gotten one of those DMs on Discord that you have won Bitcoin? Anybody else, or am I the only one that gets those?
I win every day.
So there's one. Leaks, how about you? How many have you gotten? Have you gotten a few of them? Leaks might be dealing with the kids. OG Crypto Daniel, only the audio is working. Doug, I think the video part of the stream is turned off in Discord. I'm actually not streaming anything on Discord. The only thing I have is...
That's why I couldn't see it. That's what it is, because you usually do stream in Discord.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let me go here and simply stream the, wow, okay. I guess it would just be Discord. There we go. Am I streaming now? Let me see if it pops up. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I've been going for 42 minutes and haven't even had my thing up. So nobody was able to even see. Oh my God. Only the people on YouTube were able to see. My apologies. My total apologies. See what happens whenever I get on a rant? Holy shit. So, do you guys want me to go back and actually show you the conversation? And show you what was said in the other Discord about the scams and stuff, or do we need to go back over that?
I think
We'll be fine.
we're good.
Yeah. Well, that's just so other people can actually see in the Discord.
But you're teaching the class, so.
Well, we've already been going here for 43. A few of the other scams that I know that are out there are the people that simply create an NFT project to rug it within a week of sales. And any free mint, any one of the free mints has a possibility of being a scam and being a link that could be clicked to have a rug pull. Under personal experience, I could tell people whenever I go and I look at the free mints on the gem.xyz site, I don't use any of them unless it's been going for a few hours just to see. And whenever I do grab them, I will use a burner wallet most of the time. I have used my regular wallet for a couple of them, but I've done a little bit of back end before I actually do it. That's one of the ways that people are starting to veer away from now. There's not a whole lot of NFT links on Twitter that are being sent out for brand new projects that are pulls. I can tell you that in the Leprechaun site here on Discord, they've been really pushing teaming up and collabing with other communities and giving out whitelists. I honestly believe that a lot, probably over half of those collabs are phishing projects, because I've seen quite a few of them come back where the moderators in the Discord have had to say, don't go onto that whitelist. It's suspicious. There's problems with the contract. It's really a crapshoot whenever you're trying to collab with other projects. I can speak personally by the collabs that I made up going into the poker. I only went to projects where I knew that they weren't rug pulls and that they were solid above board projects before I ever reached out a hand to ask them whether or not they wanted to collab with the Gangsta Kongs on the Sunday Night Poker League. It was very much a spot of personal anxiety to reach out to those projects and to ask them just to collab with us. So I didn't go to startups. I didn't go to projects that I had any hint of suspicion about, because I wanted to make darn sure that there were no problems with any of the collabs. I didn't want to have a single person come back to us and say, what the hell, you sent me to a project where it's a fake NFT or it's a rug pull NFT. I wanted to make sure that whenever we did this out, that it was totally above board, because there's a stigma amongst anybody that doesn't play poker that most people that play poker are complete and utter degenerates. They lose money hand over fist. They don't know how to properly run their lives. Well, I've been a poker player for 40 some odd years and I'm doing just fine running my life. So whenever you go into things like that, you know, you kind of got to do a little bit of research. I did my research. I know that the person that is working hand in hand with me on the poker, they are doing their research. So it's one of those things that being in a position where I have to make serious choices. Do I want to reach out to a project to do a collab? Do I trust the project? Have I had other projects come to me that I've told them, no, thank you. I know from telling those certain projects, no, thank you, that if I bring them up to the leadership of the Gangsta Kongs, that they're not going to want to do it. So you just have to do the research on the projects. If you're going to click on a link, do the research on the link. Make sure that you recognize what's going on. Do a little bit of extra looking if you have to. Man, I don't think that anybody here in the room has ever had anything stolen out of any wallets. Are there any precautions that you take that I don't take, Javon? Because I know that you come from a dark world the same way that I do. You grew up on the streets, so you know what it's like to have to be secure. Are there any precautions that you take that I don't?
No, I mean, I pretty much just do business straightforward. So whenever somebody contacts me, if the business doesn't seem straightforward, I just ignore it.
Yeah, so you don't have a problem looking at somebody and going, no thank you at this time, we're going to go a different direction.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, if I'm curious if it's legit or not, I try and have a lengthier conversation with the person to get them to reveal more of what they're trying to do business wise. And usually they'll reveal themselves as fraudulent
because they can't back up what they're trying to sell. Yeah.
Or it's just terrible English sentence.
Yeah, but that could just
this is a person, and it could be it could be a person with background, but
or it could be somebody that's foreign that has English as a second language. But
you know what though, the people who speak English as a second language, they still write well.
Yes.
Until they're scamming.
Yeah, that I have to give you, definitely. Can you think of any other security measures that we could go over that I haven't touched on here?
I would just say make sure that you're checking the spelling of whatever titles or what do you call those? Like, impersonations. People will impersonate celebrity accounts, and they'll be off by one letter, or they'll turn like a O into a zero.
Yes, good point. If you get contacted by somebody that you think is a friend and they're saying things that are out of the ordinary, check the username. See if the username matches up. One of the nice things that I love about Discord is the usernames. They have that number at the end. And I can tell you that I have quite a few of them memorized of my close personal friends here online. And even though I've never met Javon in person, I consider him a close personal friend online. Once we meet in person, I'm quite sure it'll be the same, because we're both cut from the same type of cloth. The same goes with Leaks. Same goes with 80K. I consider these people friends. So I know what their name should look like. I know what their speech pattern is. I know what their writing pattern is. These are things that I have committed to memory. Do I have people that are trying to impersonate them? No, but I know for a fact that somebody tried to impersonate me. And it was really funny whenever they popped into a space trying to impersonate me, and I was in the same space under a whole different identity that they didn't even know about. That was really funny. So those are things that everybody has to wonder about. It's hard to keep a circle of friends tight online. It's extremely valuable to have community, I believe, to keep an NFT project going. The security that can be shared amongst each other is always something that should be talked about, at least on occasion. I know that I tend to harp on security a lot, but being in the type of lifestyle that I've had in my life, security is a big thing. So the way that people come at you should always tell you there should be an instinct that every single human has, and it's the fight or flight instinct. And most everybody has it. Granted, there are a few exceptions. There's always the outlier person. But most human beings have that fight or flight instinct. And if you have somebody talking to you in a Twitter space, if you have somebody talking to you in a Twitter DM, if they shoot you a message and they tag you in it and something doesn't feel right, in the first half a second, your body, your brain, your heartbeat, everything in your senses should be ignited. And if anything like that happens, turn around and walk away, people. It's not worth losing your entire wallet. And I really don't know what other things that I can push out there and talk to people about. I'm quite sure that there are more. That you just have to follow security. You have to pay vigilance. You got to do your own research. Don't try to make the extra dollar. Sometimes it's easier to spend the extra dollar and know that everything is above board. Make sure everything is solid. I can tell everybody here, I made a trade on the first day that the minting was out with the Lazy Apes. And I was scared shitless making this trade because I didn't know the person. And that person reached out to me and went, I know your name, so I will send my NFT to you first before you have to send yours to me. And now, me and that guy, we're friends, and I don't have any problem whatsoever making a trade with that guy again. If the other person comes to you and says, well, I don't trust you, but I want to make a trade with you, and I want you to send your NFT first, red flag. Hey. Yeah, I just really stress security. Ask your friends. Ask anybody. I know here in the Gangsta Kong community, at any given time, one of us is online. And we're all friends here. So we should all be watching each other's backs. Whenever we see something going on that doesn't seem quite right, bring it up. Talk about it. Don't be afraid to say, hey, does this sound a little bit fishy to you? I know it kind of sounds a little bit fishy to me, but I'm not quite sure. What do you think? And take the people's advice. That's the best advice I can give. Anybody have anything else to add? Javon? Leaks?
No, sir.
I need some ideas of what to teach next week. You know what I need to do is I need to make sure of when my wife's birthday is. My wife's birthday is next Sunday. Oh boy. And it'll be Sunday night. Oh man. This is going to be interesting doing the leprechaun space. I just now looked at the calendar.
Oh boy, not well planned.
Yeah, might have wanted to think about that one a couple of weeks ago before I started all this. And the 9th, I might be doing the coverage of the poker tournament on the 9th while I'm driving up to Cripple Creek.
In the passenger seat, I hope.
Yeah. Probably. Hopefully. Maybe. But hey, we've been at this an hour, and I want to keep these classes to right around an hour. Don't want to keep everybody. Definitely keep in mind all the things that we've talked about with the security. Hopefully I shared a couple of things that people hadn't thought about. If anybody has some security things that they want to share with me, this will definitely not be the last security class that we hold. I'm starting to think, with watching the amount of people that are contacting me or that I'm seeing that are getting ripped, that we need to have a security class at least once every two months or so, just to go back over what is being done. One of the things I did talk about in another space today about security has to deal with OpenSea and their policy regarding stolen NFTs. And I got this directly from an actual article that even if you tell OpenSea that your NFTs have been stolen and they flag them as being stolen, within a 7-day period, you must submit a notarized police report to OpenSea stating said fact that your NFTs have been stolen. If that report is not made to OpenSea, they will unflag your stolen NFTs. So, if you know anybody that has had any NFTs stolen, or if you run into anybody in the future that have NFTs stolen, go ahead and let them know about the fact that that OpenSea rule is now in effect. So that's a pretty big rule, because that tells me that if I'm thinking like a thief, the first thing I am thinking is that you simply steal them and sit on them. Wait for them to get reported and wait out the 7 days and see if they go off of being reported. Because if they go off of being reported, then there's been no police report filed. So therefore, they're fair game to be sold. And I know I've talked to Javon about this, about how do you catch a thief? Well, you hire a better thief. And who better to hire than somebody that's lived long enough and did nefarious things in their life, that are doing much better in their life, and they don't do those things anymore. But I have had experience stealing things in my life, and I'm old enough now to where I don't have to do that anymore in my life. I have money, but at the time that I was stealing, I needed the money very badly, so I did it. Am I proud of it? No, not particularly, but I did it anyways. So that's just about all I have. Because the OpenSea thing was the last thing I had, and we're right at 1 o'clock, so we've been here an hour. If anybody has anything else to add, we can go on a little bit more. If not, I'll wrap it up. Give everybody a 1, 2, 3, 4 count. He's out! And with that, I will go ahead and wrap up this session. This has been Gangsta Kong Crypto Class with Douglas McMahon, aka Lord Galaban. You can find me on Twitter, on YouTube, on Discord. I'm under the name Lord Galaban. You can usually tell me by my helm. On Twitter, I use my little icon showing me as a Gangsta Kong teaching class, so you can find me under there. Everything is all the same. I am marketed everywhere as the same name. I am doxed, and if you ever have any security questions, hit me up in a Twitter, hit me up in a DM here to talk. I have no problems whatsoever talking. I will accept DMs whenever it's not dealing with certain discords. If it's not an official, I will definitely sit down and talk to you about anything, about security measures, about whether or not something is right or not. Hit me up in the Twitter. You can usually find me online most every single day of the week. I don't think there's been a day of the week I haven't been on Twitter in quite a while. So with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this up, and I will see everybody here again next week. I need to come up with something to teach next Tuesday. Got to give that a thought. If anybody has any